Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman saying happy Friday. In our top story, after many hours of deliberating and amendments, members of the 31st Legislature moved to approve the VIGL racetrack legislation proposed by Governor Kenneth Mapp. That legislation hopes to revitalize the horse racing industry in the islands while making the track facilities more appealing with slot machine parlors at both tracks in the territory. Richard Dorsey files this report.
Senate President Neville James was able to share his comments on not only the groundwork that paved the way for the new VIGL deal, but also shared his impressions of the legislation.
2010, the 28th legislature enacted Racino legislation, and by definition, racinos are racetracks that have gaming devices located at the track to allow for an alternative form of gambling. The gambling allowed on St. Croix are slot machines under the purview of the Casino Control Commission. The gambling that's allowed in St. Thomas are video lottery terminals, which are operated by a contractor, HOTLINE Gaming, through the Virgin Islands Lottery Office.
Many in the territory are hoping that the VIGL deal improves tourism as well as the horse racing industry.
A company that has a gaming license. These are the same people who actually operate the Caravelle Casino in downtown Christiansted, and they also have folks within their operation that have a horse racing background. The governor has asked for the next promoter to not only promote races in one district, not have two promoters in two different districts, but one promoter conducting races in both districts. So that's why the proposal was negotiated as such and submitted to us on October 27th of this year. So there's going to be an interim period where, from our understanding, Traxco will fund some of the operational costs in the interim and transition period.
Richard Dorsey, News 2.
The territory's horse racing enthusiasts are hopeful that the VIGL operations of the racing tracks will provide more tax revenue and amazing races in the upcoming years. In other news, after 4 years of North Shore residents waiting to see if justice will be served in a case where gunmen stormed into the Eat at Cane Bay restaurant on the island of St. Croix, the case has been dismissed due to lack of a key witness. The robbery that happened 4 years ago caught public attention when police chief at the time, Christopher Howell, and Officer Ellsworth Jones came under fire from the gunmen involved in that robbery. Many North Shore residents had voiced a feeling of being let down with the case being dismissed. On Wednesday, November 30th at roughly 9:45 p.m., a citizen called 911 and reported he was robbed at gunpoint. Officers arrived and the victim stated that while he was outside in his yard looking for something in his vehicle, a male ran up behind him and grabbed him from behind. The victim said that the suspect held a firearm to his head while demanding his gold chain and everything out of his pocket. Fear for his life, the victim said he complied by removing his chain from around his neck and all the cash from his pockets. The victim also said that the suspect then fired several shots into the air as he ran away in an unknown direction. Call police if you have any information. Police are looking for 34-year-old Jason Williams, wanted for burglary in the second degree domestic violence. Williams is 6'3", in height, 185 pounds, brown eyes with long black locks and brown complexion with tattoos marking of a small cross and a star near his left eye. Jason Williams is a landscaper and frequents the Walter I. M. Hodge housing community and the consumer gas station in Frederickstead. They say if you come in contact with Jason Williams, please call the Criminal Investigation Bureau. Well, on Thursday, December 1st, Neil Chesterfield, 39, of St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, pleaded guilty before District Judge Curtis Gomez to possession with intent to distribute approximately 21.5 kilograms of cocaine. His sentencing is scheduled for April 6, 2017. According to the plea agreement filed with the court, on September 3, 2016, Chesterfield, a security officer for Governor Kenneth Mapp, used his law enforcement credentials to bypass TSA screening and was about to board Spirit Airlines Flight 212, destined for Fort Lauderdale, Florida, when he was approached by U.S. Customs officers. When first questioned by CBP, Chesterfield claimed possession of a small black carry-on bag, but later denied ownership after a CBP K-9 alerted to the presence of narcotics inside the bag. At secondary screening, CBP officers inspected the carry-on and discovered 18 plastic wrapped packages, the contents of which tested positive for 21.44 kilograms of cocaine. CBP officers also discovered $26,025 in U.S. currency inside of a small computer bag, also in Chesterfield's possession. Chesterfield faces a term of imprisonment of not less than 10 years and not more than life in prison and a fine of up to $10 million. Well, on December 2nd at approximately 2:50 a.m., officers traveled to the Roy Lesher Schneider Regional Medical Center in reference to a shooting victim. Here's more from VIPD.
Upon arrival, contact was made with a 28-year-old black male who sustained a single gunshot wound to his upper chest and was taken into surgery. The victim was unable to provide any information due to his injuries sustained in the incident. At roughly 2:55 a.m. that morning, officers also made contact with a 28-year-old black female who stated that she was in the Oswald Harris Courthouse and community when she was shot. She sustained multiple gunshot wounds about her body and was taken into surgery. This case is presently under investigation. Anyone having information about this crime or any other crime in the territory, you can call the VIPD at 340-774-2211 in St. Thomas. In St. Croix, 340-778-2211. You can call Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
The Department of Health's Communicable Diseases presented World AIDS Day event that is recognized every year on December 1st. It's an opportunity for people worldwide to unite in the fight against HIV, shows their support for people living with HIV, and to commemorate people who have died. The 2016 campaign theme was Leadership, Commitment, Impact. Now on St. Croix, there was a walk, candlelight vigil, and reception. On St. Thomas, there was a candlelight vigil program, symbolic balloon release, and reception at Emancipation Garden Bandstand.
HIV/AIDS arena in 1999 after my 10 years of living in denial, and our numbers was at 250. 250. It was like 2000 when I really got out there. So 16 years later, here we are with a number of 1,000 in a small community with a population of 105, 10,000 people. That's very high. That's a problem. That's an issue. We are doing a great job in the community, but the number speaks for itself that we have a long way to go.
Dr. Davis pointed out that there are about 1,061 diagnosed cases in the U.S. Virgin Islands as of 2014. At the end of 2014, I'll be very interesting to know what the numbers are at the end of 2015 to see, where we're going in the trajectory of in terms of either leveling off or are we reduced in our numbers or, how effective are we being literally in our public education campaigns. And we'll need to work and talk with Dr. Sharon McCollum at the Department of Education. We have over 14,000 children in our public education system. And it's a good way to do some public education and to make sure we understand that it's not a death sentence. It's not something to stigmatize anyone about. And it's also about learning and about prevention.
Vice President-elect Mike Pence signed documents today certifying Indiana's Electoral College votes. Pence posted a tweet saying he's, quote, honored today to sign the certification of Indiana's 11 electors who will soon cast their votes for Donald Trump. Fun fact, Pence is the first governor of Indiana in more than 100 years to sign documents electing himself as VP. The last known governor to do so was Woodrow Wilson's Vice President Thomas Riley Marshall. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, we can see the Dow down 21, NASDAQ and S&P up. Coming up on NEWS2, our VI Recycle segment as promised. Plus, have you seen this yacht in the harbor? It is titled one of the largest super yachts in the world by billionaire James Packer. Stick around, we'll be right back. Nice shot there in the harbor. We'll have more information on that luxury yacht. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett will serve on the House Democratic Steering and Policy Committee in the 115th Congress when it convenes in January 2017. Plaskett, who was elected as the freshman representative on the Committee on the 114th Congress, was appointed by her colleagues to represent Region 7 in the 115th Congress. Region 7 consists of Democratic representatives from the USVI, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The House Democratic Steering and Policy Committee is responsible for recommending the appointment of members of the House 2 committees, along with advising the House Democratic leadership on policy issues. Members are also responsible for lobbying the Democratic caucus to support key initiatives. The recent labor ruling in regards to overtime compensation prompted the Department of Labor to host meetings to cover the new ruling's measures. Here's more.
On Monday, the Department of Labor had an outreach on the island of St. Thomas, and on Tuesday we had the same outreach for the employers on St. Croix. We advised the employers, due to the injunction that was handed down by Judge Amos Mazat, we were unable to expound with regards to the final rule. We're basically waiting for the outcome of the rule, and at that time, we will determine whether an additional outreach will be necessary.
Virgin Islands Port Authority's Executive Director Carlton Dow said VIPA's amended marine rate schedule will be implemented on January 1st, 2017. You may remember VIPA held public meetings in November on St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. The hearings covered the two proposed changes to the authority's general rate structure that were approved at its September 11th and November 16th board meetings. They are an increase of docking fees from 60 cents to $1 and an increase of off-site taxi pickup rates from $6 to $7 at seaports, in addition to the new fees as well. Titled one of the largest super yachts in the world, the Arctic P, owned by billionaire James Packer, recently made headlines after he offered it to his then-fiancée, Mariah Carey. The business tycoon has often been spotted traveling across the globe on this beautiful yacht there, built by German company Seebeckwerft. Back in 1970, the Arctic P can cover a maximum distance of about 18,000 nautical miles at 20 knot speed. The vessel measures 287 feet and can comfortably accommodate 12 guests, a total of 25 people, including crew members. Rumored to be Packer's most prized possession, the super yacht was inherited by the business tycoon from his father, Kerry Packer. Refitted in 2014, the super yacht boasts of a new super steel structure, which makes the yacht strong enough to dribble through ice flows in the Southern Ocean. Arctic P is well equipped to hold a private helicopter, as it has a helipad on its deck. The yacht also features an observation tower, amphitheater, jacuzzi, and swimming pool. Packer has hosted many celebrity parties on this yacht. Time for our VI Recycle segment as it comes to an end for the month. Reuse Emporium is just one of the many establishments in the territory that the VI Waste Management Authority wants residents to know about. Last year, we shared their mission and one including expanding. They have done so all in an effort to share the importance of recycling. Here's more. Jeannie Lupo opened the Reuse Emporium shop 4 years ago.
We are a consignment shop, which basically means that if you want to bring items into us that are like a big yard sale item, but you don't want to have to go through the hassle, have someone come into your house, tell you they're going to buy it, then they never show up, and they try to haggle with you. Well, we're the space for that, basically. You bring it into us, we sell it for you, and then once the item is sold, you make a percentage.
She said she saw a need for a place for residents to make money off of old belongings.
Our part in recycling is all about educating people that the stuff that normally would be thrown in the landfill is actually still reusable, either through repurposing, by rebuilding furniture, refurbishing it. We try to teach people all about that. Not only do we do it and we sell for people, but we are about to start teaching people.
This is about reducing waste, repurposing materials that instead of taking to the landfill, we just repurpose them into another way that people can use them. People can learn the use of different materials, and that way we can reduce the waste.
Business was going well, so they now have expanded.
As soon as you walk in the door, for me, it's like it inspires creativity because all the things that they gather. They have an amazing collection here, and it's always new, always dynamic, always refreshing. And when you come in, immediately for me as an artisan, the things that make me just really, become inspired.
Reuse Emporium is just one of many establishments in the territory that the VI Waste Management Authority wants residents to know about. They share a list of businesses in both districts where residents can have certain types of materials reused or recycled.
Welcome to Reuse Emporium in Makerspace. Promote recycling. Woo!
Great message there. Well, some more great news for the Virgin Islands Children's Museum, the newest exhibit called the Internal Combustion Engine. Here's more about that exhibit.
We are honored to have revealed Phase 2 of the museum and to have been able to expand the experiences and inspiration that we can provide to children here at the VI Children's Museum. This includes a new exhibit sponsored by Dr. Sonia Taylor Griffith about the internal combustion engine.
As a member of this community for a long time, I have been very much involved with children based on the work that I do as a pediatric dentist. So when this opportunity with the Children's Museum came up, I just thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for me to give back to my community. Sponsoring this wonderful exhibit is just one of the many examples that I have been afforded to show our children and the other members of our community the love and the care that I have for everyone, and hopefully this will stimulate and educate our children beyond our very shores.
Great donation there. Renee Grunewald is leading after the first day round-robin sailing at the Carlos Aguilar match race. Renee looked unstoppable as she and her team from the Netherlands finished the second day of racing in the Carlos Aguilar match race in the lead with 10 wins and only 1 loss. Now looking at today, the VI's Aguilar Regatta is playing host this year to the 5th and final event in the Women's International Match Racing Series. The winds picked up today across the Chaldomali Harbor, making the competition more competitive for the sailors and more fun to watch for the spectators. Teams here represent the best women match racers in the world. That means it's like watching the Williams sisters play tennis or Tiger Woods play golf up close and personal. The Danish team took a few minutes to walk into Chaldomali this morning, where they felt right at home reading street signs in their native language. Tomorrow, students from the Marine Vocational Program will crew for these top-ranked skippers in the Carlos Aguilar Youth Regatta. That starts at 11:30 a.m. The public is invited. There's covered bleacher seating and continues live commentary. Racing ends on Sunday. And let's see what the weather would be like. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Hopefully you enjoyed your Friday. As we take a look at the satellite, the big weather story is a front that will be making its way our direction. For now, we've had some showers in spots on this Friday, and that is with an area of low pressure, a disorganized system. Now as it continues to work its way to its west, we'll see a decreasing chance with those showers. And we've had quite a bit of showers today over St. Croix. Overnight tonight, still going to have a shower or two. Temperatures right around 77 degrees. And for your forecast on Saturday. A few spotty showers in St. John, 86 degrees the high temperature. St. Thomas also much the same. A few showers going to be around with that disorganized system. And St. Croix also looking at a couple of showers as well. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. So if you have plans on going out on the waters, well, for the Atlantic, use caution, especially if you're a small craft operator. We will have waves between 2 to 4 feet, and the winds will be out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots. In the Caribbean, waves are between 2 to 4 feet, and we will have the wind out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Now, taking a look at the extended forecast, well, for your Saturday, we're still going to have some rain around, so can't rule out a couple of spotty showers into your Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday and Monday, I think we're just looking at a minimal chance of seeing a couple of isolated showers. You'll notice temperatures not dropping off too much. Sunday, a stray shower possible. And as we get into your Monday, we're also looking at a couple of showers. And then that cold front I mentioned, the one that's moving off of the East Coast and into the Atlantic and Caribbean, that'll start to stall out. So late Monday into Tuesday, we'll see the return of some moisture. Monday should be a mainly dry day. Late into Monday and Tuesday, we'll see the rain chances returning. A few spotty showers around on Tuesday, and then it's looking like we'll have some drier conditions as we get into your Wednesday. More sunshine and temperatures staying around 85. Back to you, Sandy.
Thanks for that. Let's take a look at the News 2 weather picture there by Malachi Marcel of the Ricardo Richards Elementary School. And Malachi is looking forward to that sunshine over the weekend to get outdoors and have some fun. Thank you, Malachi. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen. Be sure to include all the information we need, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. News 2 Sports comes your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. If you're a fan of wall-to-wall hoops action and you like the three-point shot, then holy Reggie Miller, the NBA had a game for you last night. Rockets at Warriors, the Warriors winners of 12 straight. Let's shoot right to the fourth quarter. Ryan Anderson with the J. Rockets up 108-107. Steph Curry, 109-108 Warriors. Anderson with the 3. The Rockets are up 111-109. We move on to the second overtime, and James Fear the Beard Harden with the triple. The Rockets are up 126-123. And Eric Gordon with the shake and bake for the nail in the coffin. The Rockets win 130-124, and an NBA record was set with a combined total of 88 three-point attempts. Whew! So much for the inside game. Moving on to the NFL in the usual Thursday night clunker, the Cowboys are at the Vikings, and we're going right to the fourth quarter. Vikings' Adam Thielen fumbles the punt. The Cowboys, they recover. Yay, Cowboys! Dak Prescott to Dez Bryant for the TD score, and the Cowboys are now up 14-9. 30 ticks on the clock. Bradford to McKinnon for the TD. The Vikings are now going to go for 2 to tie, and incomplete. What we didn't see, and neither did the refs, was Bradford got popped in the face mask. No penalty called. Cowboys win 17-15, and they are 11-1 atop the NFL. Staying with the gridiron, that loud moan from Patriots fans is from learning that all-world tight end Rob Gronkowski is probably out for the year with back surgery. While that won't keep the Pats out of the playoffs, it's going to have a big impact on how deep a run they will make. As for the game of the week, the Giants travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. The G-Men have won 6 straight and are trying to keep pace with the Cowboys in the NFC East. The Steelers are 6-5, tied with the Ravens for the AFC North lead. The fun will be watching Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger throw the ball all over the yard. Both are from the NFL draft class of 2004, and both have 2 Super Bowl rings. I like the G-Men in this game. I just think their defense will find a way to stop the Steelers' attack in the fourth quarter. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for those highlights, Gary. And that is all for this edition of News 2. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next time.